What's going on, everybody? Fall in, at attention. You are locked into another episode of the Husker Army podcast, brought to you by Hurrdat Sports Network, and of course, the folks over at the Real Husker Army Facebook fan page 2024. Go check those guys out. Become a member. I'm one of your hosts, one of the three, as always, Bryan Knutzen. With us, as always, former Husker wide receiver, multi-time national champ, Kenny Cheatham, a.k.a. KC. And, of course, our recruiting guru, Mr. Matt Sass, a.k.a. Herbie Husker 15. Man, here we are, guys. Less than 2 weeks away. Less than 2 weeks. I mean, hell, this will air on Monday, and that Saturday, what is it, the 24th, there's college football. There's 4 games on that day, kicking off the day at 11 a.m. with Florida State, Georgia Tech. I think that's really going to be a good game. Me and Matt, we were talking about that right off camera. Georgia Tech's been recruiting great. A lot of folks think Georgia Tech could pull off that upset. But, you know, enough about other folks. It's Husker
let's
football.
wait and see.
It's Husker football we want to talk about, you know, the cream of the crop in our eyes. It always has been, always will be. First, couple things to plug for everybody. First and foremost, of course, we got the inaugural charity golf scramble for the 426 thunderstorms, tornadoes that tore through Nebraska and Iowa. That was horrible. It devastated numerous homes, numerous businesses. It's going to be a great, great outing. It'll be at Woodland Hills Golf Course in Eagle, Nebraska. 2 p.m. shotgun start time. There'll be flag prizes, on-course games, silent auction. I know Ken from Gen Red has a autographed jersey from Grant Wistrom already donated for that silent auction. There'll be many, many other items that we're going to have in order for this event. And there's going to be flag prizes, like I said. Husker Army will be sponsoring one of the holes. If you'd like to sponsor one, it'll be $250 to sponsor a hole. Get your logo displayed at the tee. Online registration is available, and it's $500 per 4-person team. Okay? That's $125 a person. That isn't bad because it's for charity, everybody. Let's think about that. All right? Give a little more for charity. But it does all have to be paid up front. Can't be one person here, one person there. That's going to cover 18 holes of golf, a cart with course GPS, free practice range balls, 2 drink tickets, as of now, that could change, a bottle of water, and dinner at the awards banquet upon conclusion of play. Now you can all register for this at, I believe it's generationred.com, or it could be genred.com. Ken, I will get that right one of these times, I promise. So please, guys, go sign up for this. It's going to be a great thing. We're hoping to have former players involved, former coaches, maybe even possibly some current players and coaches involved as well. So that's going to be a great event to get involved in. Can't wait. It'll be in October 12th, so it's the bye week. Y'all ain't got a reason not to be there. There's no Husker football to watch. You want to watch some football, watch it on your phone as you're golfing. It ain't your turn. Cool. Watch it in the clubhouse. Cool. You ain't got to worry about the Husker game that day. And then, of course, one more thing. Got to announce the winner of our giveaway from the episode with Bill Bush. Gave y'all a question at the very end. Wanted y'all to pay attention. I asked, what wedding anniversary was it that Coach Bill Bush had to miss of his parents for another event? Bingo, Kenny. It was number 50. Our winner for that, believe it or not, and he was on our last episode, our bonus episode on the boat, was Noah Peter from Omaha, Nebraska. Now, I promise you, that episode aired well before we did that bonus episode. So there's no way he could have known that unless he would have watched. And trust me, he watched because he was the first one to comment with it correctly on YouTube. So congratulations, Noah. He opted to get a hat kind of like Kenny's, but it's going to have a feathered gray look on the side. Does have the letters right there. Guys, you know where to find this stuff. Check out hurrdatsports.com. Click on the merch. Click and scroll all the way down, or maybe midway down. I don't know where it is anymore. Just to the Husker Army merch page. You're going to like what we got. We got the hats. We got shirts. We got mugs, tumblers. Check it out, please. Support the show. Keep us going. We're loving what we're doing. Hurrdat's digging what we're doing. So congratulations, Noah. We'll get you your hat to you soon. I hope Brock made one hell of a killer winner's graphic for you, bro. So, all right. Out of the way. Out of the way. Like I said, less than 2 weeks from the start of the season, guys. This is one graphic I wanted to hit upon that I saw during the Big Ten Fall Camp Tour. They had Nebraska just the other day. This is huge to me. Most returning starters by Big Ten teams this season, and Nebraska at the top of that list, 17. Guys, it takes 22 guys to form both sides of the ball. So we're only missing 5 people off both sides of the ball. We're 5 starters. That's all we're missing. There is no reason this team cannot exceed, should be no reason they can't exceed what they did on offense last year, especially having the pieces put into place that we needed. But defensively, no reason they can't exceed what they did last year. Maybe not statistically, that's going to be tough. But as far as what we see on the field, I think we're going to see a better product. I mean, Matt, looking at that 17 returning starters, it's been a while.
So my biggest thing is it's not just about this. Actually, I'll rephrase. First of all, I was wrong. I originally said on one of our podcasts, I believe that Iowa had more returning starters than us.
Yeah, so there you go.
I'll own that one. So I
promise I didn't put it there. I promise I did not put that up there to discredit anybody.
No, you're good, but it's not just the starters, though. I mean, I love the idea of having 17 returning starters on a team that came one game away from getting to a bowl at least. But my biggest thing is the starters, along with the new amount of depth that we're getting, is just it's unreal. And then we have what? I think they're predicting 6 true freshmen to make an immediate impact. Like, that makes me very happy. So, yeah.
Kenny, you know how important that is, man. You look at the teams like back in your day, 94 to 95. You've got a lot of returning starters from a team previous that was making strides. You can see the type of bigger strides they can make from that next year.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, with that amount of people returning, there shouldn't be any reason for them not to do well. I mean, you have guys who've been in the system a year. You have 17 of them returning that are starters. It's a good sign, because that's if you think about it, in today's football and yesteryear's football, that's how it used to be, between there and all starters returning. So. It's a good sign. They just need to capitalize on it, use it. They have the experience and put it in. I think the defense is going to be superb with all the ones they have coming back. If the offense can catch up with a new quarterback at the helm, and the depth, as Matt said, the depth. That's the biggest thing. Traditionally with good programs in old Nebraska football, that's what it was. You can pull one out, plug another one in. So looks like that's what we're getting back to, and hopefully we can get there.
Yeah, and speaking of depth there, Kenny, we just took a hit on defense. Javin Wright confirmed to be out for the whole season due to a health condition. Now,
not the whole season, he's out indefinitely.
Indefinitely, okay. Reimer in I think it was the COVID year, maybe he had kind of the similar situation happen.
Yep.
So now, Kenny, I know that you're actually really close friends with Javin's family. I don't want to ask if there's anything private that they've talked about, or have you heard anything at all as to what it could be?
I haven't heard anything, but I'm wondering if it's what was plaguing him before. I think it was blood clots or something like that.
Okay.
So who knows? I'm not going to say that's it, but
yeah, we don't want to speculate what it could be.
That's
Did anyone actually fully say that it was an injury?
It was not injury related, just health related.
Yeah. So, okay. I didn't even see health related.
I did see health condition.
Okay. I mean, usually Rule's a pretty straight shooter. I mean, if it is injury or health related, he says that.
Yeah.
But I know I read that he didn't say anything about injury or health related. He said Javin Wright he just can't play right now.
Yeah.
That kind of made me like, what's going on here? But if you saw health, then
it is health related. So Javin,
I did not see that.
Prayers up to you, young man. You know, we need you back, but definitely want you healthy first, and that's first and foremost. So, I mean, Godspeed to you, man. Get back as soon as possible. If not, we could use you on this staff no matter which form it is. But definitely health first, and, you know, just get healthy, young man. We need you back. So, keeping with the defense, I mean, you look at some stats that the Big Ten gave us from their little fall camp there. 22 to 23. It's a hell of a jump, guys. It is a major jump in almost every category. You look at points per game, it goes from over 27.5, dropping down to under 18.5. Total yards per game, almost 415, averaging in 22, drops to just over 323. Pass yards, little over 225, drops down to a little over 210. Rushing, almost 190, drops down to under 93.
That's 100-yard difference almost.
Even yards per play. Yeah, you're looking at almost 5.5 yards per play, dropping to just a little over 4.6 yards per play. You're making almost a yard difference per play.
Yep.
And then your third down percentage, you're looking at almost 42.5% compared to last year's just over 36.5%.
That might be the biggest one right there.
Yep.
That might be the biggest statistic that helped the most right there. I look at that and I see from those numbers, I see the games in 22 where we just let teams toss up and get yards. Let's say the dreaded Georgia Southern?
Yeah. I was at that game. So
the Ginger General.
It was miserable.
The Oklahoma game. Remember, we had some teams put up some big numbers, but the defense was still good.
Yeah.
Remember, we saw the defense was still good. So numbers are a little skewed, but it looks great. And they played well last year, building off the previous year. So hopefully they can reduce those a lot more. And I just want them to hold the team down.
And then Rule saying that this defense looks even better at this point than they did last year. It's like, oh, man. We could have a top 10 defense. Hell yeah.
And Tony White's saying it's starting at the D line.
Yeah.
And that's where it should start. That's your first line of defense.
Oh, yeah.
But we know linebackers do get a lot of the glory, a lot of the credit, because, it is hard as defensive linemen, especially in a three-man front, to get a lot of push in there when you've got five guys trying to deal with only three. So it is hard to get your tackles for loss, but at the same time, if you're just taking on your assignment, taking on your blocks, filling gaps that you may not normally would fill or flowing the right way without even having to think, these linebackers have to do so much less, and they're going to stand out even more, but at the same time, they're going to shine as well. And that's what Tony White was really, really talking about with the defensive line is we've got depth, we've got experience. These guys are ready to go, and they're hungry. So I'm not worried about this D.
I mean, he likes to switch up his defenses. It's not just straight the 3-3-5.
The 3-3-5.
Like, yeah, I mean, he'll switch it up. And with the amount of depth we have on the defensive line, I mean, White was saying we have anywhere from like 9 to 10 kids that can play.
Ooh.
Realistically, on our defensive line, I mean, that's a lot of depth. So if we got to throw in like 3, 4, 5 defensive line sets, teams are going to have a hard time defending it or going up against it.
Keep them fresh.
I apologize.
Keep them fresh and keep them running in. I mean, if you're that deep as you're claiming and saying, you should be able to not wear your big horses out in the middle and have them rotating.
Well, especially going up against teams like Ohio State that have that much depth on offense. Every time they sub in, we're allowed to sub, and it's keep it fresh all game long, and it helps. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, you're fine. I mean, but if he's saying that, and that's what we need. I mean, what have I been saying the last couple of years, guys? Where have we been the weakest on defense? I've been saying what up the line.
The line.
I've been saying it. I've been saying we aren't getting the push and the pressure on the other team's quarterbacks and being disruptive enough to take the pressure off the next two levels of the defense when we were having those fatigue breakdowns. If we had more pressure, collapse more gaps, were more disruptive on run plays, etc., the rest of the defense can just flow. So we're that deep. Sub them in, sub them out. Let's go.
Yep.
It's old Nebraska. That's old Nebraska.
Yeah, that was when you played, Kenny. That was the thing. It wasn't rebuild. It was just reload.
Yeah, it's old
that's
Nebraska.
all it was.
Pull and plug.
Yeah. Miami. I mean, they say it all the time because in those days, I mean, we had a great offensive line too, and Miami was just worn out. And you could see it.
Yep.
And I mean, that's depth to a T.
Yeah, yep. Sapp was sucking wind. Oh, geez. I'm going to get crucified for forgetting his middle linebacker for Miami back then.
Ray Lewis?
Thank you. Oh, my God. Yes, he was sucking wind by the end of that game.
Kenny Holmes was. Kernard Lang. They all were.
I was going to say, you're there, Kenny. You could see how bad they're sucking wind, dude.
Yeah, we could all see it on national television.
They were stacked.
Right? And when you're a fan at home and you notice that, it's like you already know the ending to the game. It's like, oh, yeah, here we go.
When you're taking the knee during the commercial break.
Yeah.
During the timeout.
Yeah, it was over. I mean,
Sapp wasn't doing no high knees. Sapp wasn't doing any high knees.
Warren Sapps.
And I'm going to say this. Thank God and thank goodness that he got tired, because let me tell you guys something. To see that in person was absolutely crazy. When he grabbed Lawrence, I'm going to tell you this. When he grabbed Lawrence with that one hand at one time and pulled him down, we all went, oh my God. This is different. I mean, there's players, I mean, tell us to the fence, there's players when you're on the field, and things you see, when you're a player and you're playing on that level that you see and you say, that's different. And when he did that, we all went, oh my God, this is different. You see it. You see it. And when he got tired, we was like, oh, he's tired. You know, we can see it, just them tired, and we're our guys standing there taking knees doing the breaks, and we're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be over. They're getting worn down. So.
Oh yeah, and Sapp, I mean, he's considered like what one of the best D tackles of his generation. He's the Sue of the '90s, basically. Yes. So to see him that tired, that like it was like, oh yeah, here we go, bring on the fourth quarter.
That's why for me, it's funny to watch him coaching Colorado's defensive line now, because I know he's saying all that crap about how we got bullets or whatever, we got guns. He's talking about his defensive linemen. Okay. Now, if you physically watch him, like, he doesn't believe what he's saying.
I didn't even know he was a coach, though, to be honest.
He does not believe a word that he is saying.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll take Terrence. Terrence.
I'll take Knighton and Death Row any day.
Oh, yeah. Any day. How about that nickname? It's like, dude, could you be any more of a G to nickname our defensive line Death Row? Like, even recruiting-wise, it's like, you want to play for the Hurricanes or you want to play for Death Row? I mean, way to nickname it that. It's you the man.
Do you think with SC becoming part of the Big Ten now and Snoop Dogg being the huge alumni he is for SC, you think you could ever get him to talk to Knighton, now that he's calling it Death Row?
I have no idea, but you do realize that Snoop Dogg owns the rights to Death Row Records.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he bought Death Row Records.
That's what I'm talking about.
So it'd be cool. And Snoop Dogg's a huge football fan.
I know he is. Could we convert him from being an SC fan?
No.
To being
no.
Damn it, Kenny. Why you guys shoot me down right away?
It's like trying to get you to convert to being a Colorado fan.
Oh, God, no.
Exactly. It's once it's in your blood, it doesn't leave.
Yeah.
When I moved to Florida, my dad said, You can stop rooting for the Huskers. We'll be Gator fans now. And I'm like, how dare you ever say that to me? Like, Dad, do you want me to smack you? I mean, obviously I never would. My dad was 4 times my size, but it was no. It's in my blood, Dad. It's never leaving. I got my first Husker tattoo in Florida. Like, no, I'm not going to root for the Gators.
Never the Gators. Yeah, SC is big business, man. That is SC is SC. And, and
exactly.
He'll never do it. And I tell people all the time, they laugh. And I remember the podcast when we were talking about myself. We remember on Gen Red, and I was talking about, people have to remember SC, anything west of Texas is USC. It's University of Southern Cal. You're in LA, you're at SC, the views, the glory. That's why I said when SC's on top, it's like when Miami's on top. It's like when Florida State's on top. Nebraska's on top, when Ohio State's on top, Michigan, and you get kids from everywhere. And those kids gravitate toward USC. So, yeah, Snoop won't do it. He's a diehard. Maybe we can get Key. Hey, we couldn't get Keyshawn did it because his son was here, but he was still SC. Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't last long though.
No, it was a short-lived honeymoon. It really was.
I mean, it was. But when it comes to Snoop Dogg, like I know he's a huge Steelers fan too.
Yeah.
Is he?
Well, yeah, he's a huge Steelers fan. And it's really, I would have figured it would have been like the Chargers, but okay, never mind. No one's a Chargers fan.
No.
So there really wasn't any like California teams. I mean, there is what there isn't, but I mean, like Raiders. I would have figured he would have been a Raiders fan. No,
he supports the Raiders. He's a Steelers fan.
I know he's a huge Steelers fan,
but there's some underlying stuff in there.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's some stuff I know. Gotcha. I mean,
that may be some shit we talk about off camera someday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk after this because now I want to know.
There we go. We got off camera conversation. Sorry, folks, y'all ain't gonna get to hear shit.
No, yeah, there was some behind the scenes stuff that I'm sure if we posted, everyone would be like, "Whoa, what the fuck?
What?" Yeah, there's just some things that's meant just for us, folks. It's like locker room talk. Stays in the locker room.
The podcast has to remain at least decently PG-13.
Dude, I will say if we could post some of the stuff we have talked about off camera, like an after dark thing, we'll never do it. But I guarantee it'd get like a shitload
that night at my house when we were bonfiring.
Oh God,
I'm pretty sure we'd get canceled real quick. Oh God,
cancel culture so fast, fast. Yeah. And probably not just by people, just by opposing fan bases. Yeah. All right, we kind of talked about Colorado, kind of talked about SC, so might as well bring it up. Here's the schedule right there, gentlemen. We're kicking off August 31st, less than 2 weeks away, thank God, against UTEP. So, I mean, look, I know we don't like to look past games. Me, I'm the homer. I can do that shit. I'm looking past it. We're starting out 1-0. We got Colorado. That next
2-0.
game.
2-0.
That's what I'm saying. All right, then we got Northern Iowa the week after that, September 14th. Should be a win as well. That'll be on Big Ten Network. Illinois. That's a Friday night game. I believe that's the 400th consecutive sellout as well. Yep. So that's going to be a huge game. That's a Friday night game. So that's going to be huge. And that'll be on Fox. Then we got Purdue. That's going to be one that's a lot of folks for some reason are kind of worried about that. I'm really not with a new coaching staff and all that. But, I mean, still, it could be that trap game. It really could.
No, I don't see
it. Rutgers is the one that's kind of spooky. I know it's at home. But Rutgers has kind of got their shit together, dude.
Well, and the good defense.
Yeah, exactly. And we got Indiana at home. Or, excuse me, then we're at Indiana. And then we go to the Horseshoe, to Ohio State. That's going to be a tough one.
Yep.
That's a tough one. Then UCLA comes to Lincoln, November 2nd. I like that, and I hope the weather is cold. Sorry, Kenny. I hope it's cold. I want those boys' teeth chattering before they even walk out onto that field.
I don't want it that cold. I mean, I'm cold, but November 2nd, it's freezing cold. That's a little
Just
early.
Just for that day. You know how it is in Nebraska.
Like what, -4-degree temperatures, and then the next day go back up to 50s?
See, we're on the same page now. Now we are on the same page. That's all I'm asking for. Then we have another bye week, and then we go to SC. I want to say that could be a tough one, but at the same time, guys, I'm sorry. Their crowds, by that time of the season, their season has gone to shit.
Let's see what their defense is.
Yeah, but by that time, if they're not having a good season, their fans quit showing up, so I wouldn't worry about a raucous crowd, or ruckus, however you pronounce that. I don't know.
Ruckus.
But I wouldn't worry about the crowd being out of their minds for that. And if they're having a down year, especially on defense or even on offense, I think we come out of there with a win. Then Wisconsin.
Hey, in the words of Michael Jackson at the USC game, I'll be there. I'll be there.
I would love to be there. It's a large amount of my family will be there, but me having 3 boys at home, it might be a little tough, at least this year anyways. But
hey, that house will be tore up when you get back, man.
Yeah, well, one of these years, though, I will be going down there. I have family that lives in San Diego.
Okay.
So, and they're the ones kind of setting all this up. And, I mean, they would probably be gracious enough to host me and probably pay for everything, but I'm not that guy. So, this year probably not going to do it, but one of these years, hopefully, yes, I will be down there.
Right.
Well, if you guys can coordinate it somehow, with UCLA coming to Lincoln this year, next year that should be in Pasadena. That should be at the Rose Bowl. You guys could maybe coordinate that one.
Yeah, that's UCLA. But...
See, Kenny's already going to be at that one.
So, yeah, UCLA would be really cool. I would love to visit the Rose Bowl. I really would. I mean, that's
granddaddy of them all.
Yeah, that's a historic. I mean, don't get me wrong, so it's Coliseum, but...
Well, yeah. But no, the Rose Bowl, I think, holds a little more to it than that as far as history
cachet,
goes.
as they say.
Yeah, cachet, exactly. I mean, I would love to visit the Rose Bowl. I would love to visit the Coliseum. My brothers have both been there. I unfortunately had to miss that trip, and that made me very sad. But
in 06?
Yep.
Okay.
They were all there. My whole family was there, and my dad, my uncles.
Damn.
So, and I unfortunately missed it. And
well, there you
stinks.
go. There you go. You guys the next year meet up at UCLA at the Rose Bowl, dude. You've got over a year to plan that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. It'd be cool. It'd be really cool. I want to. I'm a huge fan of visiting stadiums.
See?
Unless they're in Texas or Colorado.
Then after that, we've got Wisconsin coming to Lincoln. Judging on how, year 2 for Fickle? Over at Wisconsin, judging on how that's going, not sure how that game's going to shake out. Wisconsin could be ranked by then. We could both be ranked by then. It could be a huge decider in the Big Ten. Who knows? That could be a bigger game than what a lot of people are thinking. And then, of course, Black Friday. Sons of bitches.
Yep.
We got I.O. Duh. And ranked 25th to start this. Are you kidding me?
No, it's right.
No, not with their offense.
No, it's right. Their defense, man. I mean, and they've been a winning program for a while. I'll give 25. Yeah. I am okay with that. I mean, the entire top 25 poll, the only one that I really had a problem with was Texas A&M.
Where were they at?
I still thought that come on, you got to prove it. But I'm fine with that. Didn't bother me one bit.
Whatever.
They need to be there in the top 25 at least. I don't think any higher.
Well, they won't be there long. I mean, come on.
Well, we'll see.
One loss, they'll be out.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the whole point of a top 25. If you're 25th, you lose one, you're out.
That's what we're hoping for. Lose that opener and just call it good.
Who's their opener?
Who knows? Who cares?
Yeah, I know they play Iowa State, and that's always a tough game.
It really, yeah, the Cyhawk
Yeah,
Trophy.
I love that game. I watch it every year.
It is a fun game to watch. It
Yep.
really is. That's the only time I really ever root for the Cyclones. So
No, why wouldn't you root for them? You're not rooting for regular Iowa, and Iowa State really never really mattered to us either. So
yeah, they were the little brother that never really bothered us. You know, we were the ones that just kind of took care of them all those years, let them have their glory once in a while. Seneca Wallace. Yeah, there you go. See.
Yeah, I remember the Seneca Wallace game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So let me tell you, that was a wedding where the groom and some of his groomsmen were very upset. We were listening to that game, and let's say we were very upset. It was my brother Tony Ortiz's wedding.
Oh shit!
And when I tell you, we were pissed. He was pissed. We were like, "What? Iowa State?" I think that was the first time they had beaten us in a while, and we were like, "What?" Since
probably what, 30-some years.
No, I think that was like that 91-92 game when they went at all
shit,
red.
that's right, 92. It would have been 92.
But we were like, "You have to be kidding me! This can't be real." We're like, Iowa State. And that's old cell phones, so that's old refreshing.
Oh God,
you know what I mean?
And you're right, yeah.
That's the Samsung with the and all those. That's pre-iPhones, baby. Yeah, that's pre-iPhone.
You're talking O2.
Oh God,
whatever that was, yeah.
You said 92. That's why I was like, "There's cell phones in 92."
he was right about before then. It was 92. The last time Iowa State had beat us.
Okay, gotcha.
Because
I
we had come off.
I apologize.
It was Tommy Frazier's freshman year, and we'd come off the blowout win in Lincoln over Colorado, like 50-something to 10 or 17, I think.
Yep.
And the week after that was on the road at we hosted a very tough Kansas Jayhawks team who were ranked in the top 10 at the time as well. Then we had that.
That was Kansas or Kansas State?
I am positive. Okay. I am 100% positive. Anybody watching or listening, please go fact check me. I know that one for a fact. And then the week after that, we had the blunder against Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
Came off 2 big top 10 wins, and then a blunder against Iowa State, who I think only had a couple wins, maybe 3 in the season at that point. I mean, it was a no-brainer, should have been a blowout win, and it was just turnovers, penalties. It's just, they didn't show up that day. That's all it was. I remember that was one of those games back then. Not all games were televised. This was not on TV. I was, 10 years old, laying on my couch listening to a football game. So, yeah, I remember that damn game, too. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to say it. I remember that fucking game, too. That game pissed me off as a 10-year-old. That's what's sad.
You can relax, though. I'm pretty sure we came out ahead during the 90s era anyway. So.
We did.
Just saying.
That game kind of screwed us for a national title hope, though, because it was so late in the season.
Well, back then, you lost one game, and you might have been screwed. So,
yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. Florida State was all right in 93, losing to Notre Dame. Whatever.
But it was Notre Dame.
Whatever. Who cares? All right. I guess we'll get right into it. I mean, it was pretty much the whole basis of the thumbnail and the episode today, which was a Q&A with us, with our viewers, our listeners. And we got a few from Twitter. We got a few from Facebook. So might as well roll right into the first one. And this one's coming from Andy, from our buddies over at the WTL podcast, Where's the Line podcast. Met those guys at the Podcast Awards last year. They did that awesome and hilarious song to kick off the podcast show. That was Rhyming About Rules first year. I can't remember exactly what rap song it was to the tune of, but it was great. It was on point. But Andy's got us here, and he's asking, is taking the over 7.5 win total closer to a sucker bet or a lock on the season? Now, where's the line, WTL? These guys are your betting, your odds makers type podcast. So go check these guys out if you haven't. Where's the Line? WTL podcast. But Andy's asking, is it closer to a lock or a sucker bet on the over 7.5 wins? Kenny, what do you think? Lock. You think it's a lock, Matt?
Oh yeah, I mean obviously.
I would. Too.
I'm predicting 9 wins, so even on the low end, I mean, I don't see 7. I still see 8, and that's on the low end. But I mean, barring injury, everything will always be barring injury because the season can go to shit really fast depending on injuries.
That's very true. Hey, Kenny, what do you think? 7.5 wins, over 7.5. Is it a lock, or would you be careful with your money?
I would save my pesos, but
oh shit,
it's hard. It's hard because oh man.
I mean, that's 8 wins. 8 wins to win your money.
It is.
So
yeah, you can't have a half win.
I like it. I'll accidentally drive into Iowa one of these days, and I think always do it. And I always put money down.
So. I think about how much money I would think about if I can bend a corner. That's gas money. That's a shirt I can buy. So I would say, hey, if you really believe, bet on it. If you're on the fence, save your pesos.
Me personally, I mean, you
save
guys
your
know
shillings.
There you go. Me personally, I mean, you guys always know where my win total sits for every single year, so I can't really weigh in on this, but I have learned, and I learned it early in my life, you do not put stipulations or bets on Husker games, okay?
No.
You just don't. It's a superstition of mine, and I follow it now. I was actually approached on Instagram for a thing for the Colorado game. I had to deny it because as confident as I am, as soon as I would take the bet or take the stipulation, something horrible will go wrong and I'm going to get screwed. So I'm just not going to do it. I love my team. I'd rather not have to think about anything else but them winning.
Yep.
That's all I care about. So, Andy, I mean, to answer your question there, man, I'd take the over. I think it's a lock.
That's
in my personal opinion.
I give myself, because I like to bet on football. And I start the season every year with a very strict dollar amount. And when it's gone, it's gone. Yeah. If I come out ahead, perfect. And that one I like. I'm not going to do it just because anything can happen in college football. Yeah. I don't gamble college football. I won't do it.
It's too unpredictable.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you're talking Ohio State against, let's say, like Western Michigan. I mean, and the spread 63 or something like that. And it's a little outrageous.
It could happen.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the spread. You're talking Ohio State by 63.5. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, why? Well, that's a lot, especially when you're talking about they're going to rest their starters after halftime. Mm-hmm. So that's why I stay away. I stay away from it. But all gambling fans, do not gamble with your heart. Gamble with your head.
Yes.
It's stay away from the hometown school. It's head, not heart. You got to be smart about it.
Yeah, I think the last time
if it really gets that bad to where it's a problem, seek help.
Yeah.
Seriously, the last time I accepted a stipulation on a game was, it was sometime in the early 2000s. We hosted Texas at home, and I said, if Nebraska wins, you've got to wear a Nebraska jersey for the whole day the next day. If Texas wins, I'll wear a Texas jersey the next day. Well,
no.
Guess what I had to wear the next day? Guess what I had to wear the next day?
Burnt orange.
No, it was the white away one. That was even worse. It was the white away color. Oh, it was worse. It sucked. I took that thing off halfway through the day. I'm done.
Not doing it.
Exactly.
I'm not. I mean, I will buy a Texas jersey intentionally to just burn it in my fucking fire pit in front of Texas fans. That's how I feel. That's the only way you're getting me to spend money on any of their shit.
See,
and it wouldn't be a jersey. It'd probably be a shirt because I ain't spending $80, $90, $100 on their shit. I'm not wearing that color.
Although that would be dedication.
I mean, this is the closest I've got to sponsored by Hurrdat Sports. This is about the closest you're going to see me have. Totally. And they had this in blue. I got the blue one, but I can't find it right now. So
that's all right. That's all right. And we still love you, Hurrdat, but you do got to change that burnt orange. You got to get rid of that somehow.
Yeah, where's the red? Come on.
I do get it. It's a faded orange. That's one of their colors in their logo. I get that, but that's pretty close to burnt orange. So we're still under contract, right? Just making sure. Yeah. May not be.
I'm not calling them horrible. I love Hurrdat. No. The orange.
Yeah. Come on, man. I know. I hate to pull out something from way back. Come on, man. All right.
You got to give him the Big Jim Moore. Orange. We got to win the game. Hey, that's hilarious. Playoffs. Got to win the game.
And that, dude, is the fact that that's still used to this day speaks volumes for how legendary it was.
Was that him or was that Herm Lewis? I mean,
it was Moore.
Herman Moore.
It was Moore.
I think it was Moore.
Yeah.
When he had his
Herm Edwards was the one that was, you have to win the game.
Yeah. Of course it was.
Or no, you play to win the game.
Yeah, epic.
Oh, we don't get that anymore. We just don't get that from coaches no more.
Iverson's, though, is still the best. Practice.
Oh, practice? Talking about practice?
Yeah. Not a game.
Not a game.
Practice.
Kenny's got it perfectly. I like it. Had the head nod and everything.
Practice. Yeah. No, not trying to hear that.
All right, let's see who we got next. This one I think was from Facebook. Yeah, my buddy Chris Leffler.
Chris.
Yes, owner of CNS Wellness LLC in Fremont, Nebraska. Great CBD products and stuff like that. So if you get the chance, check them out. C&S Wellness LLC, Fremont, Nebraska. Check them out. But Chris, I believe, has two questions. We'll get to the other one in a little bit. This one, though. How big of a role do you think Heinrich Haarberg will actually play since Dillon has been pretty much named the starter? Now, Rule hasn't done it yet, but yeah, I mean, it's the elephant in the room. He's gonna start.
Just being realistic.
And my opinion, Haarberg looks so much more improved in that spring game. But from what I hear, he may have taken a small step back in that open practice with, I think he had 2 or 3 interceptions and I think a couple fumbles even. But they did get to see how they're going to use him. He's going to be kind of more of a Tim Tebow type quarterback. He's going to be the runner. He's going to be a bruising type quarterback, maybe get you a yard or two on third and short.
I think he's going to be used about the exact same way as the first game of last season.
There you go.
I honestly do. I think that they're going to have certain packages where they're going to load him up at tight end, maybe even certain packages where they could probably line him up at fullback. I mean, he's a big boy, and I mean, he's got speed, and he's tough as nails.
That's the part.
So, I mean, they showed a video earlier this week of him catching passes from Dylan Raiola.
Oh, wow.
So, I think he's going to have a role, whether he's a backup quarterback, starting quarterback, or playing somewhere else. We're going to use him in ways. Now, it's just, what is it?
Yeah, and like you said there, Matt, he was used as a tight end in that first game at Minnesota.
Yeah, he caught a pass.
Yeah, and it looked good, too.
Yeah, and so, I said, the dude is tough as hell. You saw some of the shots he took last year. Especially in that Northwestern game, that touchdown. He gets cracked hard and still scores a touchdown. I mean, that was a ruthless hit. And he got right up, no problem.
And he also delivered some of those, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I like.
I mean, if they're going to use him somewhere on offense, I just hope they still keep him under center to get his snaps and his repetitions in. So using him is fine. That's fine. Wherever you want to use him in other positions, but still make sure you're getting him his reps on the offensive end. If he's your solidified, pretty much number 2 quarterback. because you don't want him going in there and not really taking reps, and because you had him playing tight end or receiver or gimmick thing all practice the whole week.
Yep.
It's that's not beneficial to your team. So, I mean, we know Raiola is going to be the starter.
Yeah.
I mean, they threw everything that they had to get him, to convince him to come from Georgia, whatever, to turn into there. So, if he wouldn't be a starter, it'll be some issues. Of course, he plays well, but they have to figure out if he's their number two, you keep him your number two, you use him in spots. But then other teams will catch on to that, oh, he's in here. What is it? That might open up for trick plays with him in there in a gimmick position, but we have to just wait and see. You know what I mean? So if he took a step back, who's the third person? You guys know I don't until I see him strap it up.
It's Kalen or
it'll
Bramstead.
be Danny. I think it'll be Danny Kalen from what Rule says.
I just because I think he's going to redshirt.
Is that the younger guy?
In my opinion, it's just it just if he's not going to start, there's no reason to make him a third string. You know what I mean?
No, there's not.
Just put Gramstad in there. He's already lost his red shirt. Same with Heinrich. It makes no sense to put Heinrich even on the sidelines or not Heinrich, but Kalen. It's just redshirt him for a year. Rule came out and said like he can see him being a future NFLer.
Yeah.
So it just for development reasons, stuff like that. I mean, Real is going to start. We all know that. You sit Danny, let him redshirt. He's going to just learn.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to do it.
That's what I like about where Harburg is right now, because he can be that guy, that quarterback on the sideline with these younger guys. He's got that experience.
Know we can win with him. We know we can win with him.
Yeah, it is possible to win with the young man.
Exactly. But
I think it's great to have that experience with those young guys that don't have any at the college level.
Yeah.
You need a guy like that. Now, just hopefully, if, like you said, Matt, if they use him at other positions, hopefully, as you said, Kenny, they still keep him under center, keep him in that QB room to where they can still learn off of him, know what in-game situations, what am I looking at, what do I do here? He's there if they've got questions, and Harburg's totally fine with that.
Yeah, short yardage situations, I can see him coming in.
Jump pass even.
yeah. Short yardage, goal line situations. I mean, he's a big boy. Like the tush push, is that legal in college football?
It is now.
Yeah, it's Jesus Christ, use it.
Yep, might as well.
But I mean, he might get that 1 yard by himself. So, that's when I could see it. Yeah, but I didn't even think about that. The jump pass.
Yep.
Pop a big one, like what? 3rd and 1 from your 23 or something, and pop a jump pass real quick that goes for
hello Fedoni.
Yeah, a 77-yard touchdown or whatever. Oh man, yeah. Now you got me excited.
That's what we do here. That's what we just do here. I love
I'd say
it.
something else, but that would be very inappropriate.
Oh, Matt may have gone from 6 to midnight. Sweet Jesus.
Goddamn comedies. vulgar comedies.
All right, let's move on. Next question. We got, there it is. Yep. Ben, the BA Coaches Show. Gotta love the coach. Questions for the show. And I believe these are actually, for us. That's the best part. I kind of dig that. All right. What's Coach got for us here? Question for the show. How did the three of you get together to start the podcast? And how did you all get in contact and decide to start? All right. That's that. We'll click that off there. That'll be the first part of it. We'll go over the next part. All right. Coach. I mean, me and Matt, we've known each other since, 6th, 7th grade.
6th, 7th grade.
Yeah, so we're in the same town.
Yeah.
We've grown up here together. We're both Huskers, diehard Husker fans. It was a no-brainer. Matt knows a ton about recruiting. I'm a fanatic, somewhat historian, because I can remember a shit ton from the golden age. It was the golden age of me growing up. So,
and I love recruiting. I used to post on Facebook before we ever started doing this. Like a kid would commit, and I'd immediately post it on Facebook and be like, "Oh, this is a big one. Hell yeah!"
Yeah.
So
And Kenny, we had you on as a guest when we were the Scarlet and the Cream. I think a couple times at that point.
Yeah, we
Then,
did a bunch of episodes.
yep. And when we transitioned into the Husker Army, I asked you if you wanted to come on. You had to kind of think about it for a bit, but hey, here you are, bro.
Yeah, I think we did we did 2 full years of Scarlet and Cream. Me and you.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you were like, "Hey, I'm looking at this. Kenny got a question, and how do you think about it?" And you posed it to me. I said, "Well, give me a couple of days." You asked me how you felt about it with the name change and transitioning, and I was like, "Man, go for it. If Frankie was cool with it, we'll do it." And then been on ever
Yeah.
since.
Yeah, we did kind of make that conversation. It was almost like a business type conversation, too.
Yeah.
And we're just talking about a damn podcast.
Yeah, because it was you and Frank's ties in regards to that. And I know you said Frank probably wouldn't be available as much, and with you, and I was like, yeah, man, cool. I have no problem.
And that's when I was popping in and out, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because I got little boys at home, man. I got babies and stuff, so sometimes I'm pretty busy. But now they're getting older, stuff like that. My amazing wife, helps me out tremendously to allow me to do this. So yeah, I should be on full time now.
Yeah, you've been on every episode for the last.
I made you a promise I was going to do my best, never miss an episode. So some weekends it's hard, but I'm doing my best. I will let you know well in advance if I can't make the episode.
Hey, that's the one thing you've always done. You always have let me know well in advance if you couldn't make it on. So it was never a big deal. We always had it covered. We always had it figured out. But yeah, that's kind of how it came together here for us. Let's see what was. Let's see. Second question. All right, this one's more football related, I believe. What differences are you expecting in the offense this season? Coach says, I am predicting much more traditional, in quotations, passing concepts and route combinations more on a pro-style basis. What I want to see, I want to see this offense finally establish a run game first. Period. Every single game, make that line in the sand and tell them that this is what we're going to do. If you want to stop us, come over here and get us. I want to see the offensive line looking even better than they did to finish the season out last year. I want the running backs running harder than they ever did. And after seeing Gabe Ervin Jr. and Emmett Johnson on the fall camp tour with Big Ten, those guys look so damn focused right now and jacked. Oh, my God.
Yeah. But even Emmett, it looks like he probably gained like 20 pounds from last season.
His arms looked even bigger in that than they looked in the episode he did with us maybe a month ago.
It almost makes you honestly forget that he's only a sophomore.
I know.
Like, it's like, whoa, dude. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. So, personally for me, I mean, I know we're going to throw the ball around. I know it probably is going to be more a pro-style basis with Raiola and the amount of talent we have pouring out of the wide receiver room right now. So, me personally, I want to see us just establish that run game first. I don't care what type of style of offense it is, but I want to see us be able to grind out 3-4 yards a pop, period. So there you go, Matt. What do you think? I can throw the question back up.
I agree with you. It's I mean, a lot of the same things we're going to try and use last year. I still think. I mean, no quarterback run game. We are going to move away from running with the quarterback. But you're still going to see heavy run, power football, and then work in the play action. That's the whole point. Receivers, you're going to see, in my opinion, you're probably going to see some more double moves, mesh concepts, a lot of stuff like that. Like more of traditional, yes, just like he had said, traditional, like pro. Yeah. Like real pro. Like, and Rule's not stupid. I think he's going to start like implementing some of the things that he was doing in the NFL. We have the team to do it. And I think we have a quarterback to do it too. So That I would love to see, because it's only going to help in recruiting also when you can prove it to a high school kid. Like, listen, this is what we're going to do, and this is the type of stuff that you're going to be running if you want to play in the pros.
Yep.
So I think that's the smartest way to handle it. And Riola, I mean, he's one of a kind. I mean, we've all seen it already. It just looks different.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can immediately just see it. Now, I know we haven't seen him in a game yet, but it's so much. When was the last time we had somebody that it just looked like this?
Oh God.
And it's been a while. Like Joe Gans, Zach Lee.
I'd say no, not Zach Lee, Zach Taylor.
Or Zach Taylor.
Not Zach Lee. Sweet
I apologize.
Baby Jesus.
I'm just saying, I mean, it looks different.
We had a Zach Lee, or did you mean Tanner?
Oh, well, either one.
Well, yeah, Tanner Lee.
That was the turnover machine, right?
Yeah.
I thought, wasn't Zach Lee a turnover machine
how many
as well?
times a game? We were throwing the ball 40 times a game.
Was that the one under Mike Riley that gave the other team a touchdown a game? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we forgot
that's how
about that.
I see it. So
now, Kenny, with you, you've played the game at the highest levels. So, I mean, you kind of see the game a little differently than most of us fans do. You see formations, you see lineups, you see how things are going to go before they can virtually happen. It's kind of the way Coach BA does as well. I mean, it's crazy. You guys have that football mind. Do you see Rule or Satterfield going with more of that traditional pro style basis?
Absolutely. I think they feel, and Matt said it, you said it, I said it, we see it, everyone saw it. We have someone who can get the ball where it needs to be, arm strength, placement wise, accuracy, which opens the offense all the way up. So it's going to be more pro style, but we do know Coach Rule and his staff, he likes to run the ball as well. So it's going to be more pro style.
He's old school,
but I would think more older pro style, not the current.
Yep.
Pretty much read option pro style. I mean, it's pretty much where the game is at now on both levels. But I think it's going to be more pro style, drop back, shotgun, running the ball. And all we need is a fullback, baby, and we'll be all right.
Isaac Dickey.
Truly be old school.
We got Isaac Dickey.
I think so. Looking forward to it.
I love the old school approach. Old school with new school, passing concepts. With an old school power rushing attack. I mean, you get the right bruising running back in there, Gabe Irvin, Emmett Johnson. I mean, I know a lot of them are more speed, but I mean, start playing pulling guards, stuff like that. With a serious passing game. I mean, run the ball to open up the pass, play action. I mean, you could see some pretty nice long touchdowns this season.
A lead blocker.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
But opening up the play action, I mean, Jalen Lloyd, 80-yard touchdown pass. Malachi Coleman, 80 yards. I mean, 60 yards, stuff like that. I mean,
speaking my language.
That's how we hit those two deep passes last year. I mean, we ran the ball so goddamn much that finally it was like, oh, let's do an option pass.
Yeah, it worked to perfection.
And he's just wide open because the only thing a defense thinks we're going to do is but they can give up that kind of play because they know it's not going to be sustainable, and it's still just stop the run.
Yeah.
So teams were loading up the box on us, but now you have somebody that can hurt you accurately over the top. You can't do it anymore. You can't just load the box.
And we got a couple running backs that even if you do load up that box, they could probably still get 2, 3, 4 yards getting through there. So
but I mean, I remember watching in September and October. I mean, you saw heavy loading the box, but not the same way as in November.
Nope.
Right.
I mean, November it was. I mean, there's 9, even sometimes 10 guys in the box, and it's like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, that's
But
what
I
they're
mean,
gonna
we
do.
literally can't throw the ball. So it's just, oh man.
Every
And then we
team and
lose.
coach knew that.
Yeah, we lost every game in November
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
to not make a bowl game. So teams can't play us that way anymore. They just
one more
can't.
win.
They're gonna get hurt by us. Thank you, Dylan.
Somebody's gonna get hurt by Gabe Irvin Jr. I'm gonna call that right now. He is gonna get a hole open so wide in the middle that there is nothing there.
To meet somebody like a free safety 1-on-1.
Either a free safety or a piddly like outside linebacker coming over.
Emmett's
to Phil.
gonna do that too. Isn't Emmett the one that did that on the sideline last year?
Yes, he did.
Just went straight into him and then just walked away like, da-da-da.
Gabe Irvin and Emmett, I love you, and you know that, man.
Yep.
He's a bit bigger, and you can see it. Gabe Irvin, he's going to lower that shoulder.
To figure
He's
that
going to lower that shoulder, and he's going to hurt somebody, dude. That's what
they're coached to do too, though.
I know, but it's going to be magical. I could see Emmett doing it as well.
Ramir,
I'm not even worried about Ramir.
Yeah, it's not running out of bounds. It's getting an extra yard or two.
Through him.
So, and I love it.
All right, next question. We got 3 more going on here. 2 more after this one. All right. This one's from good buddy Drunk Monk on Twitter. And he's been a supporter of the show since day one. I love this guy. But it says Q&A. And I got to lean in because this is a long one. So he says, gentlemen, each game this season will present familiar challenges, unknown territories, and unique opportunities. Success can and will be measured in a multitude of ways, but it all comes down to winning football games. Big time games like early on against Colorado versus a ranked team on the road like Ohio State, or ending a losing streak versus Wisconsin will be huge opportunities for Nebraska to take some much needed steps forward. With that in mind, gentlemen, which player or players do you think need to have a big-time season for Nebraska to be successful? And which game or games are you guys most excited to watch? Thank you for the insight, gentlemen, and go big. I'm going to say it, motherfucking red. 3 corn cob emojis with it. Drunk Monk, thank you so much. All right, so Drunk Monk's wanting to know, what player or players do we think need to have a big season for Nebraska to be successful this year? And on top of that, which game or games do we think are going to be those pivotal ones throughout the season? I mean, it's pretty obvious which one we think will be the first pivotal game. Obviously, it's got to be Colorado.
Yeah,
it does. So, Matt, what do you see? Obviously, Colorado being a pivotal game. I see Ohio State also being a pivotal game, just being middle of the season, being at Ohio State, where they're ranked, where they could be ranked by the time we get there.
I mean, I don't see that being a pivotal game. Like Colorado.
So seeing it being a stepping stone. Wondering where we're at on the road against a highly ranked team.
Possibly. It's like the game that I am really, really looking forward to is USC. Like they're coming to a new conference. I want to see where they're at. So
at the Coliseum.
A lot of people have us losing that game, but I don't. Like, I think we can win that game, and that's the game that I am extremely excited for. Just for them being new into the Big Ten and everything. Also, it's just that's a game that I want to see. I want to, especially with a high-powered offense too, like that. I honestly want to see how good our defense is, especially against somebody that's proven to be that explosive year after year after year.
Yeah.
So, and then players-wise, I'm not singling out any players. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of doing that, but I mean, Dylan Raiola, there you go.
A given.
I mean, it's a given. That's
it may be answer. But so what if it's a cop out? It's a given.
I mean, for us to have a good year, we have to have a good defense, which we know we have.
Yeah.
And then it's our entire wide receiver core. Our wide receiver core, if they are good and as good as everyone thinks they're going to be, we're going to have a good year.
I agree.
I'm not going to say one player and the next because we are loaded now, thanks to the transfer portal.
I'll actually
So,
say a few players, but I'm going to
yeah,
let Kenny
I'm
go.
sure Kenny is just like
Yeah,
thrilled to hear that.
Kenny
Like, oh my
is.
God. I
He
mean,
is.
like they said, we're like 8, 9, 10 wide receivers deep.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I mean,
I
and
don't
then
think
seeing like
Kenny.
Barney and who's a true freshman, it's like, okay, and he's going to be that good to have playing time this year and that loaded of a room. Like, I'm happy, very happy. We're Nebraska. We've never had the best wide receiver room. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? This could go down and as like one of the best years. Sorry, Kenny. I don't mean to be dogging on you or anything like that, but we were a running team back then, and
Yeah, he knows
we all
that.
know it. You know it too. But this year, I mean, if they're as good as they're saying, this could be a great year for Nebraska's wide receivers.
Which is good. Which is excellent. Which is excellent.
Yeah, what do you think,
will
Kenny?
we see a 1,000-yard receiver?
Ooh, maybe.
I don't think so. I think we're going to spread the ball around that much, especially the tight ends, and then running the ball. I mean, I think we see maybe 2 kids have 600-700 yards, but a 1,000-yard receiver, I don't know. Like the year Stanley Morgan did it, I mean, he was our only option.
Yeah, he was.
So it's just, but 2 700-yard receivers, yeah, I'm cool with that. I mean, really cool with that.
Day. I'll take that any day.
And 6-7 touchdowns each.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. I will take that.
It's points.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kenny? What games do you think would be the pivotal ones? I mean, Matt's pretty right. That USC game toward the end of the season, that could be a real pivotal game, especially at SC.
For me, of course, we know the first one because that's the tone. That's the tone setter.
It really is.
And the amount of recruits that are going to be in town for that game.
Yeah, that's the tone setter right there. Yeah. Ohio State, USC, and I'm looking for me personally, one in between. I'm going to say the Purdue game. Rutgers. I'm sorry, Rutgers. Because Rutgers
that's the only game that scares me.
Yeah, they got their old coach back, right? The one that left, went to the NFL, came back.
Yeah, Shiano.
Yep.
So they're going to be a lot better than what people are giving them credit for. So,
they played us tough last year.
That can be a make or break.
Or the last time we played them.
Yeah, that can be a make or break. So
that game scares me more than Colorado. As weird as that sounds, like I just, for whatever reason, I think Colorado's just in so much shambles.
Oh.
I mean, they have Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. That scares me, but I don't see how they walk into Lincoln and just put a whooping to us like last year.
Yeah, especially if they don't have the depth. They're going to give.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get to see practice, but I mean that place is just a clown show right now.
It is.
It's how do you keep a team together like on the road? I mean, and that's going to be one of the biggest crowds Dion has to go up against next year. I mean, at night, I don't see how they win that game. I honestly
don't. With them going to the Big 12 and Oklahoma and Texas off to the SEC this year, they don't have to go to Oklahoma or Texas.
I just don't. I mean,
I think those were the
even
two
if we were in the
Big
12, who has a bigger crowd than us? I mean, does Utah? Because Utah's in the Big 10 now, or Big 12 now.
Yeah, they are, but I'm not sure how big their stadium is. I think Oklahoma and Texas are the 2 biggest ones left.
Yeah. I mean, Kansas State's their stadium
Manhattan maybe fits. But little over
it's 60. Not 90,000.
No, maybe a little over 60.
Yeah, I mean,
I could be being generous even.
Their stadium was small unless they added a tremendous amount of seats to it. Yeah, it was small.
Yeah, I mean, and now you're talking a night game at that, sold out. I mean, we might have one of the largest crowds ever at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
It's going to be louder. My rival, the Miami year it was. Yeah, Miami.
2014. Yep.
Yeah, that was almost 93,000 fans at Memorial Stadium for a night game. And now Colorado's coming to town, a team that we probably hate even more than Miami.
Oh, we definitely do.
Like, no offense, Dion, but you're not winning that game.
You're wearing the wrong colors for us.
That's my honest opinion. It's you're not coming into our house, Rhule's second year, where he makes the biggest difference in his program, And that's a fact. He did that at Temple. He did that at Baylor. You're not coming into our house and winning that game. There's no way in hell they win that game.
And this has been the gospel of Matt Sass.
There is no way. I hope it's a bloodbath.
And for me to quickly answer as far as players go for Drunk Monk, I won't single out any offensive linemen. I want them as a whole to be better. They're very crucial into our success this season. Yep. They're the ones that are going to be responsible for keeping Raiola upright, keeping him from getting hurt, keeping him from taking hits multiple times per game. They're going to be responsible for opening up holes for those bruising backs. They're going to be responsible.
It's what they're built for, though.
They're responsible for everything working correctly and staying on task.
Yep.
That is where it's the most crucial. Now, as far as single players go, I have a couple, and I want to see big things out of them this year because I've talked to both of them, and their amount of focus is amazing. They're both great young men, and they've been, one of them's been through the thickest of shit in this program that you can go through. So I've got Emmett Johnson, of course, and the one that's been through it all, Ramir Johnson.
I knew you were going to say that.
Ramir, I'm sorry. I know I say it damn near every episode about Ramir, but he's just that back that, no, he's not the biggest guy. But guess what? He's not afraid to go between the tackles and take on a linebacker, take on a D tackle. He don't care. And he hits that hole with everything he's got. Yep. It doesn't matter. Those are two guys I want to see the biggest thing out of. I think we will. That offensive line just needs to do their job.
Yeah, for me, it'd be Ty Robinson. I want him to have just a huge year, improve his draft stock, and if he can improve it well enough to be like a late first rounder or a day 2 draft pick, I'd be so happy with that. I think he has the potential to do that. So that's who I would go with.
All right. I hope we answered that for you, Drunk Monk. Thank you for the question, brother. It a little bit long-winded, but we got through it, and I hope we answered it for. So, but nothing's too long-winded on here. I think we all probably talk enough for everybody. Holy Christ.
It is kind of the whole point of having a podcast.
I know. And see, that's the funny thing because Kenny usually is the quiet one too. But man, when we can get him going, some of the greatest podcast shit you'll ever hear. Yeah. That is what I love about having this guy on here, dude. I'm so. And
I normally don't rant, but yeah, you bring up Colorado, and now my blood gets pumping. Like I'm serious. I want to run through my wall right now. I hate Colorado like with every fiber of my being.
I know, and I'm the same way.
So fired up so fast.
As I always said.
Go ahead. Matt literally just said his blood gets to pumping. So pretty much what he's saying is Colorado is a honey pack and Cialis in words to him.
Yeah. It's like taking 5 Viagras at one time.
That blood is pumping, baby.
Oh, I hate Colorado.
I know. I've always been on record to say that state could get wiped off or nuked off the face of the map, and I wouldn't even blink. Wouldn't even care.
Yeah, it's still a beautiful state, but just the people.
People tell me that all the time, but guess what? I don't step foot there. I've been invited there for vacations to go to the mountains and everything. I don't want to. I don't have to. I don't need to.
Yeah.
I've got no business being there. I almost feel like I'd burst into flames if I even stepped across that state line, dude.
If you cross the border.
Just instant spontaneous combustion, dude. And I'm an ordained minister legally. That'd be horrible. Would that be like a hate crime?
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. I could just, I'll take the whole state down with me.
A bomb that can just annihilate just the citizens and leave the beautiful state.
Oh,
and take away that piece of shit stadium in Boulder.
There we go. You know what? Yeah, maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the thing. Just take
Trump,
Boulder
work
out.
on it. They're come on, Trump. You can get it done.
It is called Boulder. Couldn't they just bulldoze it? I know. Horrible fucking joke. Horrible joke. Whatever. I don't
Yeah,
care.
that is. Yeah, I am wrong. We might actually get canceled after this episode.
It's gonna happen.
No.
All right,
Like
next one
Colorado
we got. I think these aren't too bad right here. All right, so we got Chris again. After the Big Ten Training Days episode for Nebraska, the fall camp tour, where do you see any weaknesses? After that episode, my only concern is our kicking. I got to agree. Our punting was not good last year. Our kicking was maybe a little over 500, maybe at 500.
Yeah, that's a concern.
That is my concern. And I am going to agree with Chris on that one. That's really the only concern as far as where I'd see a weakness right now. And Kenny, I'm going to throw it to you because it's about kickers. So, what do you think about that really being the weakness that we see once again?
Kick the ball, man. Come on. You have a lot of free time on your hands during practice every day. Kick the ball, dude. What else do you have to do? You're not awesome. You're not cool. You have no cool handshakes. Kick the ball. That's it. I mean, what do you need the training table for? What do you need weights for? Kick the ball, dude. I mean, you get the big kick it, eat sunflower seeds and chew gum all game. Wear cool shades.
Stay in shape.
Hey, have a nice haircut. Everybody can see your face if you're handsome. Kick the ball, dude. I mean, what else do you have to do? Line up, kick the ball, walk off the field. Give the holder on the field goal person the dap, a handshake. Good job, buddy. Other than that, kick the ball, man. Stretch your hamstrings. We shouldn't be struggling in year 6 or 7?
Yeah.
Kickers? I'm still mad at the Ohio State game, dude, who kicked it. Y'all really know how I feel about kickers, dude. Come on, man. Hey, like my high school coach told my buddy one time, he was in there talking smack. He said, "Shut up, TJ. You're a damn kicker." This was 30 years ago. Shut up. You're a damn kicker. So what are you in here talking smack about? You're not going to tackle anyone. Come on, man. Kick the ball. Kick it off. Yeah. Place the ball where it needs to be. Line up. They say it's pressure. Well, I don't know. Maybe you need to do more sphincter exercises so it don't tighten up when you got to kick the ball. Kick the ball.
How much situational football really is there for a kicker?
No, none really.
Here's what you're going to do. There's 3 seconds left on the clock. You're going to put it through those uprights.
Yeah, you can practice that all day long.
Here's what you're going to do. It's going to be kicking in the middle, kick to the left, or kick to the right.
Yeah, the elements are your only.
Yes,
the only thing you have to fight. We get when the wind is blowing this way. You have to kick it. And hopefully, all of that. That's a skill. That's a skill. Kicking is a skill in itself. But when that's your only skill, you're not running the 40. You're not having to separate off the line. You're not having to drop your hips.
I don't give a shit what kind of shape you're on. Yeah. I mean, you could be taking down a foot-long hot dog before the play even starts and hand it to. I mean, you could be smoking a cigarette like on the replacement.
Yeah, grab a runza.
Come in, have a runza. But as long as you can hit a 40-yard field goal,
have a runza and a Diet Coke on the sideline, buddy. Hey, I would be able to. Hey, bro. Since you're over here, we don't know when you're gonna kick. Grab a cheesy runza. Let me get some of those crispy fries. And, put a little ranch underneath that helmet in the back. What else you gonna do?
Oh my God!
I'll be in there putting in orders. Hey, and if you get a pizza, just put a little pepperoni on the napkin for me. I'll be over there in a minute. What else are you doing? You're kicking it. You get to see everybody in the stands. Hey, you get first dibs on the ladies in the stands. Oh, I see her.
Oh, man.
We're focused. You chilling, looking in the stands, waving. Yeah.
I think this is the first time we've done an episode and I've cried on camera.
Oh, I think it might be for me too.
Wow.
It's ridiculous, man. Y'all know how I feel about kickers. Kick the ball, man.
That's why I could not wait to ask this. Oh, God. I saw that one and I was like, yeah, I agree with Chris, but I know
Mm.
somebody that's going to agree even more.
Yeah. Okay. Now get back on subject. What was the original question again?
It was, oh
Position
shit.
groups, I know.
Yeah, after
Routine
the Big Ten.
weaknesses. Gotcha.
Yeah. Any other weaknesses besides kicking for you, Matt?
Well, tackle depth, especially
Yeah,
after
okay.
Teddy went down, and then the cornerback opposite Tommy Hill. But
We're supposed to be getting
that's starting to
Blyhill back,
sound like
right?
it's coming together just fine.
Yeah.
Like we have a true freshman now stepping up too. Amir Sanders, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah. Thank you for adding even more depth. So
Yep.
him, I mean, they're talking Buford playing there. Hard Dog, we can always move over there. Bly Hill is already back to practicing.
Yep.
And you're the projected number one in spring. I mean, we have the USC transfer, so you're right. It's dude. It's all of a sudden we're talking about a major problem. Having fucking depth.
Yep.
Hell yeah! Good job, John Butler. Like I'm in. Now I'm happy. Tommy Hill. I mean, he's a freak. He was on the freak list.
Yep.
We're just fine with him. And they're talking about him being what, like the 9th best cornerback or draft. They're saying he's right now ranked the 9th best corner in all of college football.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, cool. And now we get depth on the other side. Perfect.
I'll take it. I will take it. Well, there you go, Chris. I think we got you there. All right, we got one more to go. This one was from Facebook as well. From Tim Huffless. All right. We kind of went over this a little, but I'm glad we pulled back a tad because I knew this question was going to be the last one. How important is the Colorado game from a confidence standpoint? A win sets us up as going forward. A loss, do you think, upend any momentum? I'll start it off right off the bat. Abso-fucking-lutely. It is the first pivotal game in that season. My opinion, if we were to somehow, some way, in God's blue hell chance, lose that game, it really could set a horrible tone for the rest of that season.
No, it wouldn't.
And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will look from a fan's perspective. Yes. Hopefully not from the coaches and players' perspective.
Roll would never let that happen. A win, it's just another game under Roll. You don't care that it's a rivalry. In the following week, he's going to make them work just as hard.
That is true. I'll give you that.
Even if we lose that game, which no way in fucking hell, since we already went over this, do I see that happening. Even if we did, though, Roll will not let that ruin our season. Everything is still in front of us.
Okay.
So no way.
All right. Well.
But yes, I mean that is a big game. Like us winning that game with the amount of recruits, everything could vault us in so many different ways.
Yeah. I mean, what are you thinking there? Excuse me, Kenny. You thinking that Colorado game is that big of a setup, or could it be up or down if we win or lose?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Look on camera. Is my camera showing? Looks like it's off on this end.
You're frozen. But it's frozen good. At least you're looking.
Yeah. So
yeah, you're not.
It's just
like
black
scratching your head.
Blank on my screen. So I don't think it's a make or break, as Matt stated, with the coaching staff if they were to lose and it would disrupt the season. But that's from the coaching standpoint. My question is, are the players, if it were to happen, mentally ready, or will they be able to bounce back from that? Being the game it is, the opponent, the time it is in the season, and everything else that's going to be going around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be celebrating the 1994 team.
Yep.
So everybody,
you guys are going to be there.
Going to have a bigger crowd there. Media. All of those things. If they were to lose, the That
National
night game,
televised.
prime time. Everyone, all eyes on you. Can they bounce back if they were to lose that game? That's my concern with that. But do I think it would break the season? No. I do think a little bit down during the season, some of those games can kind of shape where we're looking at, because you might get that here we go again type thing if they lose some games that they're expecting to win. And as you guys know, we all know, and I say this honestly, winning is a mindset. If you go into a game hoping to win rather than expecting to win, that's it. You're done right there. So, I mean, I can honestly say we never went into a game. I never went into a game hoping to win. We expected to win. That's what we were there to do. Our mindset was, let's hurry up and deal with these fools so we can get back to playing Killer Instinct and doing what we're going to do and arguing with each other, playing dominoes and cards, and have a black and mild or something in the mouth and the toothpick and shoot the breeze, and let's do it. So, but it just depends on their mindset, fellas, and that's just the honest to God truth. If they can, which we are expecting them to win, it should help them tremendously with everything that's going on at that time. You see what I mean? It's the opposite on that end. So I don't think so, but I think there's some trap games. I hate that cliche, but there's some in between that can kind of make or break them. But I think if they do well, and let's say they get to Ohio State and they may have lost one or two before they are one. We hope they don't, right. But and they, let's say they play Ohio State close or beat them. Look, I mean, we want them to beat them, but play them close, play them in a good game.
Yep.
That can have a tremendous impact on the rest of the season. So it just depends, my friends. That's just honestly.
Well, that was the last question there, guys. I mean, honestly, damn, thank God we're damn near an hour and a half. I did not think it was going to take us that long.
A little bit.
That's okay. It's not often that we do.
It's amazing that we blew up so badly on Colorado, but we haven't blown up that bad on Iowa. Which is my second most hated. But
I know, but we've got plenty of time.
You just wait. You just wait, fans. That game is coming, but Colorado comes first.
That's right.
We will get there, and you will hear plenty of profanity and passion from this podcast. We guarantee it.
It is a guarantee from all three.
Yeah. That is hate week. And I am issuing hate week number 1 is the second week of the season.
It is.
And I will burn to ground. I will make the promise. I will burn to ground anything that has anything Colorado involved.
It's kind of funny that those two schools almost have identical colors too.
If I even go into a gas station and see a Colorado Rockies hat, I'm gonna rip that thing off somebody's head and I'm gonna run it over with my truck. Like Denver, even. Don't you Broncos fans, leave your shit away. Put it away for that week. You can pull it out that Sunday, but not Monday through Friday. Monday through Saturday. No, don't.
That's hilarious. Don't do it to him, Matt. Don't do it to him.
Hell no. Nothing Colorado related. I'm serious.
Well, I'll let you guys all know now. You see it scrolling down there at the bottom of the screen if you're watching. Like we did last year, we're going to do Husker Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, again this year. You send we'll be checking Twitter as the season goes on, but only as the season starts, not beforehand. We don't bother with what anybody wants to rant about before the games. So we look to see what your reactions are after the games on Twitter. I go ahead and screenshot them, and we pick a few here and there, see if you guys made it on there. It's just a little fun deal. So just kind of fun to do. You never know who's going to be on there. You never know if what you said was a little controversial. Might make it on the show. Maybe you get roasted. Maybe we agree with you. Who knows? Most of the time, we agree. But as you saw there, we don't always agree on everything. That's for damn sure. And who the hell wants a show that you do agree on everything?
No, it'd be boring. Like, we need opinions. Otherwise, you get problems like the Republicans and Democrats.
Exactly.
And that is one thing we will never, ever.
You have to have controversy to come back together.
Exactly.
Plain and simple.
But Husker Army, Husker Nation, Husker fans, I will promise you one thing right now. One thing you will never ever hear or see on this show is us discussing or talking about politics.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the first and only time you will ever hear that. So,
yeah, and that's not even discussing politics.
Yeah, that kind of stuff it does not belong in the football world, in my opinion. So I even apologize for even saying what I said.
Nope. Just that shit always opens up cans of worms nobody needs to open up. So, yeah, don't care what anybody's political outlook is. You know, let's keep it like the 60s and the 70s, folks. Keep it in-house.
You just do you.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
I don't need to hear about it. You just do you. Okay, the election's November 3rd. You don't have to tell anyone about it. Just, you vote in how you believe and shut your mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is what I always tell people. Agree to disagree, but do it respectfully. The name calling, the vitriol, you're a dumb liberal, you're a dumb Republican, and all that. It's so ignorant. I just vote. Believe in some things that you believe in, and that's the way you vote. And I tell people all the time, I don't go by Democrat. I don't go by Republican. I hate when people say I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. You are an American citizen.
Yeah, that's the only thing I care about.
That is the way that you tend to vote. Stop identifying yourself by a political party. Identify yourself as an American. Vote. Leave it at that, and leave it alone.
I got two flags. I don't have a Republican flag. I don't have a Democratic flag. I have two flags. It's American and Huskers. Oh, and my Colts, of course.
so he's got three. He's got three.
But the one that flies the most is American flag.
Burn that Colts one, bro.
Nope, never gonna happen. Come on, I get one day to wear blue, and then it's put away. And that's Sunday. Never gonna happen.
There you go. All right, guys. Oh my God, just over an hour and a half. I hope people got enough attention span to watch or listen to this whole thing, and if not, I can get it in little short increments if you've got to. We're okay with that. All right, we'll go ahead and shut her down
make
now.
My rant about Colorado into a 30-second skit.
Are you kidding me? That whole thing's staying in there.
All for it.
Yeah, I might have to get Brock to make that one of the clips, make it one of our shorts. Then we're probably gonna have to do Kenny's on kickers as well.
Oh, kickers.
Told you. All right, guys. All right. At this point, you know where to find us all. You can find Kenny on Twitter and I believe Instagram at HuskerNoop1911. Of course, you can find Matt on Twitter as Herbie_Husker15. Myself, I just run the Husker Army Pod Twitter account. So, yeah, find us on Twitter, on Instagram, right there as you see, at Husker Army Pod. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I'm pretty sure there's quite a few more audio-only platforms that you can find us on, but if you just Google the Husker Army Podcast, pops right up. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Really helps us out, helps out the algorithm, all that stuff, helps out with stats. Lets us know what you guys like, what you don't like. That also helps with everything. Leave a comment as well. Also, I forget this one. Make sure to hit that bell notification so you know when our videos are up if you don't see the post beforehand. So, I think I plugged everything, gave everybody everything. We talked about our giveaway winner. We talked about the fall camp. We took your guys' questions. Hopefully, we gave you some decent, somewhat knowledgeable and somewhat decent answers whatsoever. And I can't thank you guys enough for sending us all your questions. Can't thank you guys enough for all your support. So, for myself, Bryan Knutzen, for former Husker wide receiver Kenny Cheatham, and of course our recruiting guru Matt Sass, Husker Army, you know what to do. At ease, you are all dismissed.
Later.
Hurrdat Sports Network production.